stars came into being and explain all extant phenomena, and thence predict the future. If we could achieve this, we believe that we would be free from uncertainty and anxiety. And did you find the answer you sought? Yes, we did. Our efforts revealed to us a fundamental truth. Knowledge of said truth is essential for the continuation of our conversation. If you would learn more, we will share it with you. No, we mustn't. Primitive as they are, it would be unspeakably cruel to deprive them of their ignorance. They are possessed of corporeal forms, their lives readily ended. As those who have gone before, it is our duty to warn them. It is not our duty to warn them. What thinkest thou? We have deliberated and come to a consensus. If you are resolved to know it, we will disclose to you the truth we discovered, the truth of the universe. Seek us at the stone pillars just outside the bounds of the abode, a place called Evela. Be right back, getting some water. It's true that a lack of knowledge can beget fear. Therefore, in theory, by acquiring all knowledge, it may be possible to attain peace. But as Highland told us, all those people who attempted to free their worlds from life's woes met with failure. And the Ema are among them, as their presence here attests. The tale we are about to hear will not be a happy one. You may be initially familiar with a problem, know it like the back of your hand, yet be powerless to solve it. In the course of my struggles, I've often been made keenly aware of this fact. I wonder, have the Era never felt the same frustration? Like her master, Yatoya seeks the truth of creation. How will the truth of the Era, who uncovered all only to desire the end, fall upon her ears? To define the laws of creation would have been no small feat, even for the Ea. Nay, having eternal life, and hence no sense of haste, would only have made it harder. Such tremendous drive for knowledge they once must have had, and I struggle to reconcile it with the listless beings before us. Whatever answers they found, it did not bring them happiness. A fundamental truth. We will hear it, of course. Let us learn what we led such an enlightened people to this indolent end. Ere we join the EA, there's one trifling matter I would fain investigate. Vamron, Rahatia, might I trouble you for your assistance? But of course, my thanks. We shall head outside the abode, if you would kindly follow me. I know not what mischief you are plotting, Urianger, but I trust you have our best interests at heart. The rest of us shall go on ahead to Elga. Least you worry, we won't start without you. Okay, this is the part where I'm about to use Stola. I think that's coming. And I'm not happy about it. A spring, and a sizable one at that. I hadn't noticed it amidst the dunes. Ah, this place shall serve. Is it the spring that you wish to investigate? Pray forgive me, my friends, but there is naught to investigate. 'Twas but a pretense to speak in private. You have our undivided attention. We have established here in Ultima Thule, those denizens of ruined stars are recreated in their twilight days. Yet one question does arrive in my mind. So faithfully formed are the simulacars, they believe themselves yet amongst the living. How dost thou suppose this is possible? I'm inclined to agree. A mitten can take the emotions of others as her own. I dare say she would be able to recreate them more faithfully than had she relied on any historical account. By which logic, she must have visited them while they still lived, the dragons and the Ea both. So too did I theorize, and upon that assumption, consider how those two races may have met their demise. According to thy own tale, Mitten perceiveth the emotions of those nearby as her own. A heightened sense of empathy intrinsic to her nature as an intellectual. In the course of her starfaring journey, if she encountered beings who strongly desired a cessation of their existence, she would be powerless before that desire. Even as she possessed the power to grant it, the power of Dynamis. It is my supposition that, overwhelmed by their longing for death, men did unleash Dynamis and assured the dragons and the Era unto their doom. Of course, such was not always the outcome. Full many stars did she find already lost to ruin. In order to create a terminus, however, a fervent desire for the end is essential. Therefore, should you struggle to find your way forward, pray ask yourselves this. In this place where you stand, whose is the soul that yearneth most desperately for oblivion? Why do you tell us this now? Ne'er again would I betray your trust. This pledge I did make to my comrades. In bringing thee into my confidence, I would remain true to my word. As for thee, let us consider it my fitting reward for the secrets I harbored for the Crystal Exarch. I once placed my faith in thy chosen path, walking at thy side full knowing that we were bound for thy demise. I ask now that thou return the favor, and abide in faith as I fulfill my own destiny. If you say my debt has come due, how am I to refuse? "'Tis indelicate of me, I know full well, and I can but beg thy forgiveness. Yet even if I must needs to go to such lengths, I cannot well feign ignorance of the answer I have found within. The answer to the question, in what moment might I stand strongest? After all we've been through, I will say only this. Do what you must. Do what you must and see your conviction through. I shall, my friend. I shall. Without further ado, then, let us go and join our comrades. Let us be off to Elgia. So I guess Uriange's going to sacrifice himself instead. No, they're not. They're not being sacrificed. I refuse to believe that. Absolutely refuse. Don't mind me. Come, let us hear the Ea's tale and learn what caused such enlightened beings that crave Neilthy. While we waited, we mentioned our star situation to the Ea. They nodded sagely, or something to that effect. I understand you've taken care of business. If you are ready to begin, then so are we. Seems that everyone is accounted for. Shall we then?
Please continue. Tell us about this truth you discovered.
Very well. Bear in mind, however, that the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not. We will forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion, the end of our society and our world. We acknowledge, with regret, that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Deneb 3. As such, in order to avoid causing undue distress, we will refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
You are entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
In the beginning, the universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand. Having remained entirely in the bounds of your star, the phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp. But this expansion has since continued unabated. Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery. The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies. Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter into an eternal ice age. In hopes of proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter. The endeavor proved fruitless. So infamously so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end, and there is no way to prevent it. Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort. Why strive for anything when desolation is assured? When our wealth of wisdom, accumulated since the dawning of our kind, would be forever lost. No civilization would rise from our ashes. No scholar recover our knowledge. In silence unbroken, naught would stir. Intellect was once our pride. Overnight, it became our shame. Our works, monuments to futility. Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering. Rather than suffer on, many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators. Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls. Though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture. Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, we likewise intend to vanish. If you understand this, understand aught of our tale, you will abandon your quest for knowledge. Ignorance truly is bliss. If you would cling to your illusory happiness, remain primitive and pure. It is the only way.
So that's your story. While I appreciate your advice, I will not heed it. Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth, I have ever believed, is in the eye of the beholder.
suggesting that we have reached a faulty conclusion? That our science failed us?
Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension. And that, I accept, is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the air. But of one thing am I absolutely certain. I would not be happier in ignorance.
Ishtola, no! You mustn't!
The most important lesson I've learned is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay, 'tis when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value. This is what has sustained me, driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow. The universe may end, and all may be for naught. But I will live as I always have. I will always seek out new knowledge. And no conclusion of yours, no matter how grim, can dampen my desire.
I suppose it is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of it all. But worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you, and we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair.
Keep calm and listen well. Though my body will soon dissipate, there may be a way to restore it. Azim's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back. But you mustn't, for it would mean losing our way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost, so press on. Press on, and do not look back.
I shall join thee. As subterfuge is not required, thou shalt not suffer for mine absence.
Riange.
My resolve hath never been as strong as thine. Full oft have I wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. This truth I have learned in the course of our journey. And many though my shortcomings may be, I may also claim to excel in prophecies. My studies, into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality. Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue.
With you to urge us on, how could we possibly fail?
What's this? An extinguished civilization. Rekindled.
That's right. Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on, and we will find you.
There. That's where you'll find me.
Is that another star?
Of the stars we visited, most were already devoid of life. And where there was life still, the inhabitants wished for death. But even death, we learned, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of the cycle of rebirth. Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow. And eventually they are reborn. Alive again, to know suffering anew. True salvation lies not in dying. It lies in not being born. This is the gift I would give to you. To all life on beautiful Atheris. To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun. Attain it if you can, before your friends' emotions fade away, along with their protection.
I'm fine, Vamron. Like I said, our quest doesn't end here. Never have I felt such emptiness. It's as if a part of me is gone. Are we all ready to continue? Then let us make for where the light shone. Your stolen Urianger have opened the way for us. Oh, once again, just knocking these out as I can. Let's do these two real quick. Alright, just need one more. Yeah, you're asking some pretty weird questions. The answer's 42. I have to. 42. Because the answer's always 42.